one more game coming your way for today, ladies and gentlemen, and you will not want to miss the action because we just had one of the most insane, bizarre, just trying to understand where that center point was in. You have to like probably super zoom in, zoom times 100% or something, because it was, you know where Fairy Fairy is, where it has the bit down there, and like you've got the other small bridge part. I feel like that was right on the middle part.
On the plateau down to the water itself, yeah.
Yeah, I was lining it up, guys. I was lining up here, and I'm like, maybe. I was trying to find some logic in it, but yeah, that was tough. That was an interesting one, and
yeah.
For me, right, when you get these circles, is yes, I joke about it being entertaining, and we enjoy it, the same as city endings and stuff. But that one was not even that enjoyable because it just shifted so many times hard. Like, the first two, yeah, we can laugh about it. Oh, it's going to be fine. And then when you get to this one, it's like, oh, my God, okay, this is actually happening. Like, this benefits no one.
In all fairness, though, I mean, we have a map, and we're going to use all parts of it throughout the games. And the players, they're aware of it. They have seen crazy things before. I argue a lot of them has probably seen even crazier. And they're used to not being able to predict things in that regard. I mean, that's what they have to play around. You can sit here, you can say, we got this compound, it's going to work in these and these and those circles. But what if that crazy thing happens? Oh, it never happens. But there's a chance.
Never say never.
Gotta be prepared for it. And I'm sure these guys will have all their books that they have available on strategy and how to maneuver around the map now, not just the common ones. Off of that game, they'll bring in all the ones, every millennium type playbooks as well. They'll need to, that's for sure.
Now, where will Avangar go off this one? Just normal now, North Georgia Pro, they're going to sit with that? Yep, no problem. 4AK, Stalber and Kameshki.
No surprises so far, of course. I mean, we keep saying it, but that's because it's good info for those of you guys who might be new to watching. If you are watching the channel and you like what you're seeing right here, that being the map, you can jump on over and get up the map stream as well. It is very, very useful, especially early on in the game, where sure you might miss a kill or two if you only have the map stream open, but you'll get the overall picture of how these teams maneuver around, how they rotate, and all of that. So proper info to get up there. They have 2 monitors, of course. That's pretty self-explanatory. You can just take either stream on each monitor, and then you can toss it on up there. Moonwolf, they're going to go back down to their usual site. They're going to go to the island of Sosnovka, but they're going to go to the east, I would assume, over towards Novo, just splitting on each side, maybe getting some vehicles in there. And Circle is going to take us center. So at least off of what we get here, James, we're excluding the craziness. But then again, crazy things can still happen off of what seems to be fast circles for everyone. There's a little island in the middle out there, you know?
Thing is, when you look at it, right, you say about trying to find a circle that is fair to everyone. Even if it's dead center, it's not always going to be fair to everyone, right? Because it's just there's always be some teams that's super far down south or up north or to the like southwest, for example, just anything.
You could argue that Los Leones circles are the only ones that are fair to everyone. Because in Circle 2, Los Leones it can be full-on circled around Los Leones, right? And then at least you could argue that they all have a compound that they can sit in or house. Because it's such a big city, and sure, getting to it can be difficult, but it's available and it's there. It's just about you being good enough, I guess you can say in quotation marks, to actually finding a spot that's open and available. So when we get these open endings and open areas, there's going to be that 1 or 2 teams that have the compounds, and they're just going to be lighting everyone up while they, like crazy people, try to find some sort of home. And speaking of home, we need a home on your screens. You talked about today, James, coming into it, that considering how well they were doing in Phase 1 and making it to the Kickoff Cup and giving us some decent numbers there as well, they have just not been really in the finals here at all.
Yeah, it's been a lackluster performance from these guys, and it just shows how hard it is to be consistent in PUBG, right?
For sure.
Look at as Ents when you look at Pro League. First time around, wrecking Phase, looking so strong. Now look at them, not exactly in a great spot overall. You can be found out quite quickly if you don't change it up.
One thing that I think could have an impact on the results we're seeing now, and everyone can correct me if they think I'm wrong, it's just me theory crafting, but they did go through a player change. I'm not taking anything away from Rip9. He's a very, very great player, but we did see Smash Bay on that team in phase 1, in
And he was
phase
so
2,
good.
and he was topping the damage dealing leaderboards. He was topping the kills. He was. I'm not gonna say he was, because it's the same thing with Quizzy, right? Just because he gets all the kills doesn't mean that the other players aren't there to do their job. But it's kind of the same story with We Need a Home. Smash Bay, I don't know if it was internal things or communication or what it was dealing or like leading them to drop him or him not playing there anymore. But he was just the Quizzy of We Need a Home. He was the one that did land all those shots, that did get all those kills. And now they don't have him, and I don't know if they picked up Rip9 to fill his role, or if they wanted to play a different style of play where they maybe spread it out between more of them. But I feel like that's what they're missing, that heavy-hitting player that goes out and gets it done, because that was pretty much what Smash was doing.
No, I completely agree with that, and maybe just needs a little bit more time, right, rather than having to come into this and instantly kind of work on what you've got as a team here, because it is a big adjustment. If you change one player and they're very different in terms of how they perform in the game, then it's not just adjustments for you, it's adjustments for the whole team and the in-game leader on how to utilize that player. Maybe someone else sacrifices one of their key roles to accommodate him into the team. That can be many factors what it comes down to.
That's the name of the game here, factors and many of them when it comes to PUBG. That's if you aren't ready to adapt, if you're trying to implement something, but we practiced this for 3 days and we are going to make this rotation. No.
Said no one ever.
You can't. Well, they probably did, but they never made it to the pro scene. So
yes, actually, you are correct about that. Yeah.
Ooh, we just saw a second of Desperado's full speed forward, making their way down towards no tag team, and I want to get back there, but
I really want it. That's what you mean. You're like waiting.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to happen. But I'm just looking at the map screen right now, trying to figure out if that solo player from No Tag actually managed to get away or not, because Tornado Energy are rotating. There you go, Jubzik. Thank you. He is indeed still alive. He's managed to stay through it with 4 guys from Desperados in his compound, and he is sneaking his way into safety. Slowly and steadily, you can see both O'Connell and Eros. They're trying to apply some sort of pressure while he's making the getaway.
And at least he's got the cover fire. That's the main thing, right? He's able to now escape out of it. Just doesn't want to get a bullet in the back of the head if Desperado do poke out any further.
There we go. Running into safety he goes, at least for now. Moonwolf as well, winners of last game, got themselves a good showing. Now they do have to rotate a bit further than they did in that previous one. And, well, I mean, this time around, they have a bridge to cross. And seeing that Tornado Energy was rotating early just before, and we know it, and you guys probably know it as well, they have plenty of room to roam out east.
Now, Northern Lights, they've gone back to military this time. They'll be coming all the way over on this western bridge. Moonwolf will split off on the east one. No problem at all, but it's this central position. Now, Quickmath, they're going to stay up north of the river because there's no guarantee of where it's going to go on the next one. It is a gamble, but most teams opting for the southern side of things. Yeah,
and that's always the coin flip you have to do. Do we sit there? Do we go north? How do we play this one? The circle, well, I mean, odds are that if there's a barely chance that it goes north, it's probably going to go there. And what do? Do you play around the numbers, or do you play around the gut feeling in this one? Like, do you say statistically this should happen, so that's what we do, or do we? I'm feeling the northern one. I'm feeling the northern one, and then you go for it. Are you a gambler or are you a statistic player in this scenario?
I think for me personally, you can't. Like, there's no statistics that work in PUBG in circles. Like,
there's no statistic that works in PUBG. We can cut it off there.
Even if you want to be logical, right, and you take a sample size of 1,000 games, right, then even then, the information you get from that is pretty useless.
It's at least very, very hard to decipher and implement. That's the thing, because you can get the numbers. You can see that, but 46% of the time this happens and that happens. Sure, but what about the times that it doesn't? And more often than not, those are the games that, at least in contenders, they're being thrown into. Tornado Energy, they have had themselves 2 good games today, kills-wise and placement-wise. And now, of course, they're trying to get themselves into yet another one. And a team that I'm looking at here, Gamerlegion, off of that first tough game, they've rotated over to the top of Pachinki, sitting well in it there right now. But they might have to make a bit of a rotation coming into that next circle. Could you imagine this one hard shifting up to Georgepol? Just hard shifting northwest.
Avangar would be happy.
Would they though? That's the thing. Would they? Because would they then stay or go back into the city? That's one of those. Sure, we get the
Yes.
circle, but we were kind of only sitting here because we wanted to rotate. It wasn't like the position we wanted to play late game from. We'll know in just about 10 seconds time. Eros, he's trying to tell everybody that school's closed. It's theirs, and it's theirs alone, and no tag. I like the split they've got going right now. Got two guys in dupes. He can give it up on the eastern side, and then you have O'Connell and him down there. And, well, I mean, it wasn't as hard of a hard shift, but we do go south at least. I mean, Quickmath, are you going to stay? Just because? The stubbornness? We're a northern team. We're going to stay until it forces us to leave. Or are they going to go south? I would hope for them to go south because, well, I mean, real soon there's not going to be a whole lot of terrain up for grabs. Also, how do you split this one if you do split? I'm not sure that's what you want to do here.
Yeah, I don't know, because right now, you've got all these teams working their way in. I respect the teams like Riddle and stuff who are going to go down south now because they know how contested it is coming from east to west.
But PG sitting with the 2-2 split, two guys in the doubles, 2 stories, and then you have 2 guys down in the yellow houses. That, to me, even though it's only circle 2, but given the circle that we have here and where we are on the map, that is a greedy split. And if they get pulled up on, the thing is neither Yannick or Nemrith can make it up in time for decent nail-up to stay alive and them to have an actual 4v4 fight, because they'll have to, if they do decide to leave yellow houses, they will have teams, well, first of all, hearing the vehicles and expecting the push to come out. But now look at this, 7 in for a tough one. No tag gonna be found. We talked about the split before. Doesn't last them very much longer. They need to rotate, and they're getting taken down.
And that's it. As soon as you start one fight, there'll be multiple other teams starting to get involved as well. Dupesic down there. Stuck in many ways. Tornadoes on one side, 7 up close and personal.
Yeah, that's gonna make things tough for sure. Quizzy down to the blue. He is clearly having some connection issues today, Quizzy, and that is a tough loss for Northern Lights. Gotta give it to them that did manage to make their way into a good placement last game, despite him DCing twice in one game, but him going down this early on in this one, it's not what they want to have happen, of course. So hope that wherever you're located, buddy, that the dog is going to stop chewing your internet cable.
Can you imagine if that's actually the problem?
Ow! Yeah, that would be a tough way to go down. That was the sound of a dog biting an internet cable, by the way.
Yeah, don't get electrocuted from an internet cable, mate.
He did. Clearly.
Oh, God.
Don't question my voice commands over here. That dog got very, very electrocuted from the internet cable teams.
I'll let you keep imagining that. That could be your thing. What Vazku's imagining, though, is landing a few more of these shots. He's going to make sure that vehicle is not going to be used any further. But he wants to see if he can hit any headshots onto any of these tornado players that might pop up.
I thought he was just trying to give the car some cool dents.
He might have been doing a smiley face in the side of it. You never know.
That could be cool. Distance tagging things. You know, like so when you shoot something, whenever he sees the bullet hole, instead of a bullet hole, it says, Vasco shot this bullet. It's like, oh my God, he's here, guys. Watch out. Spread fear.
Get the knock.
Get the fear instead of your opponent's Arco. He's gonna get shots fired over towards Riddle, and they now have neighbors, but no immediate fights happening just now. They're sitting far, far down south on this circle, and will most likely, at least, they'll have to leave real soon.
Now, when it comes down to it for Tornado, they've got this little ridge to play within. They've got vehicles nearby as well. Obviously, we saw Vazku trying to pop as many of them as he could. They should be able to get out of here quite comfortably. But it's about where you go from here. This new circle's going to pop very shortly. And we actually continue to stay around this area. So Chinky's included, Ruins as well, which means that some of these teams just won't really move. Maybe Zen goes for trying to get a little bit more central, but ultimately you want to stay probably where you are in terms of there isn't much else within this circle.
Yeah, I was just going to say I need to see PG in vehicles, and indeed they have shifted on over. They've committed to yellow houses. I like to see it. Riddle as well have decided to make the full aggressive push over towards Moonwolf. Moonwolf won the previous game, but now they're starting to see all these whack-a-moles all over the place, and Razor having a player knocked needs to go down and help him out, while Akko and Edgicos tries to hold off the push that, at least for now, has been somewhat dulled down. See Arrow spreading the Resabon towards O'Connell. That nade is going to be right on the money, and that is going to be no tag wiped out. They'll get an early leave for today. I'll be heading on home and looking forward to the final games of the week tomorrow on Miramar. Ooh, that rock just saved Clip. Next one. Nope, it's going to go too far. That one. Nope, too far as well. Oh, look at the utility they're using because they did not hit that first one.
Yeah, Clip is loving life right now. All the nades going far, far over him. And they obviously threw the ones closer. Saw it blow and was like, okay, that didn't connect. And then the natural reaction was to go further forward. Luckily, Clib, he was up close towards them, so it's not going to go down just yet. He'll be able to heal himself up into this. But his teammates, they're under pressure from not just Moonwolf, but Northern Lights as well.
I will get himself a knock on towards Combat at a distance. Edgecast finally does get yawed down. Hanny is going to go down to the blue as well. And you can see all the players in Northern Lights trying to do damage on towards both Riddle and Moonwolf. Oh, Quizzy is back in it. Welcome back despite DC and getting knocked in the blue. I believe the Deep, he dared to go out there and pick him up. So fortunately, they keep Quizzy in the mix. And okay, bro, Northern Lights trying to stay put here. They know that Moonwolf are indeed down by this compound. It's just about for them. Do we go for position in this one, or do we try and just hold them off? Seems like they've committed to the keep here.
Clip managing to get the knock, so he's going to get the flush out straight away. It's comfortable for him, but now there's plenty of other teams shooting at him. Quizzy's the ones doing it, and Riddle go down in 15th place. And that's what it's about, the waiting game, right? You see them go for fights, you could potentially steal away one of their knocked kills and then come in and finish them off regardless.
So my lucky, they just washed them out.
Hey!
Yep.
Washed him out and hung him out to dry.
That is a 0.01 second too late res attempt coming in there. Unfortunately for AK will lose a player because of it. It's gonna be Northwest down, I believe. He's a good player at a distance too, and really good with those bold actions, trying to do damage from afar. And they would need that because, as you can see, with the new circle shifting down south, that's gonna be them up for a bit of a rotation here, and they don't really have a whole lot of options other than potentially going down south towards Tornado Energy. And if they could get the knock on towards Example early, force them to get into a bit of a split or stress situation, that could be the allowance for them to push on through. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
Gifted Rouge spots out Rescue, does actually hit him. Gotta continue to spray it
Ooh.
down. Nice sprays. We're seeing a couple of these today. He's on the bike, he's trying to escape, but it's not just going to be Gifted Rouge shooting at him, but Occo, he replies and he goes in instantly for the flush here. That cost him a lot, and it's not really worthwhile, as Moon now may want to try and push on this, but Occo, well aware that there could be someone else lying in wait.
They thought it was just a solo player and Reza that left the building, and Akko, he was using that as bait, peeked out the corner, got himself the finish off down, and that's going to be Reza unfortunately out, so Akko now left alone, despite him getting that first kill. We talked for AK, we said how they pretty much only had one chance, and that was rotating south. We were waiting for them to potentially get a knock on towards the energy. It never came in, but either way, they still managed to make the rotation over the top. So great push from them, nice read, good driving skills there as well. It's a tough terrain to maneuver through, but they managed to make it.
Now Desperado looking to try and do some damage here. Fake spots out Moon from afar. This means wherever Winside are going at the moment, they're just running into more and more teams.
Yeah.
Can't catch a break. It's very heavily contested.
And arguably the best area to play from the south side of this circle is still available, and there's a crate landing right in the middle of the compound. So that's a pretty useful spot for Desperados to go to, should they have the info needed. They can go there soon. Right now, though, they're going to try alongside Desperado, or alongside Avangar, I should say, to get some kills here. And then it's always going to leave the Boom all by himself, trying to get away from that one. It's not going to be easy, though.
Winside, they do end up going down 14 places, all they managed to achieve this time around.
See Tossera trying to line up more shots still. And Zoekt Een Naam, they have been in this position for a while. They pushed up north when Gamerlegion came over on the side. Ooh, Akko, you're in the blue, buddy. You're going to get spotted and you're going to go down. Moonwolf, despite winning the last game, out in 13th. They go. They did manage to get themselves a few kills. So, not the worst game, but of course, off of a win. You want to get into a better final game. Simsy is going to go down. Yannick, nice distance tapping from a barrel. Not oftentimes you see that weapon being used to such a or with such a purpose. Locks and Ultra, they're up close, trying to make a push into this one.
Let's see what Besiktas can do from here. These are the fights they love to try and get involved in, but Maybe this time around they've seen, okay, this is too much for us to handle at the moment. Can we back away? Can we find some more space? And they can hear plenty of the other gunfights going up above them. We've got We Need a Home and Quickmath quite close by.
Someone knows exactly where Calvin's located, and they're playing so far down this hill. Despite, I don't even know if they have checked the top. The thing is, it's really hard to get up there and really get the angle on towards it. You see Avangar, they know exactly where they have the Desperado's players. It's just a matter of actually being able to get over there and doing the damage. That nade is going to be right on the money, and Calvin gets himself the double in there. Max is always going to get flushed in as well. Not a whole lot more you can do, and all of a sudden, Tuck is all by himself.
Desperado getting it all going in their favor. One more player from Avangar to find if they can. They've got to try and push into this circle now, though, but they've made the space, which is key. The question is, who will see them from afar? Because as of now, they're good. They've still got a bit of a way to go.
Yeah, a new circle popped, and it's going to force Desperados to move. It's going to force Zoekt Een Naam to move, and all of Pochinki is going to be excluded except for the church as well. So plenty of teams forced into situations that most likely neither of them would have wanted to be in. Tornado Energy, they're sitting on the hillside. They should probably do their best to hold off Zoekt Een Naam. You can see them down here. T-Bone is trying to make the run around the side. Not going to be easy for him at all. And Fex spotting out Krabik. He was the player in the center. Now he's down, and 7 go out in 12th place.
Fex is going to be very careful here, though, because if he's made some noise, he's got all the Northern Lights players around him. The Deep's already found the kill onto McCann. Fex tries to reply, but how much more can he get done here? Nades will be coming up towards him, but are they going to reach? He should have a good amount of cover here, as the rest of his teammates are on the floor close by.
See the Deep. He wants to get the rest, and it's important for them to stay with all guys up and alive, and you have to make this aggressive push, especially when it's uphill. It's going to be difficult. That nade, just a bit too far. Could have been right on the money, but cooked for a little bit too little. And 4AK hearing all the commotion, want to get into part of this, but they're going to get spotted immediately off the back of it. Northern Lights turn around. They get the knock on towards Savaki, and all of a sudden, they put their focus on towards them, and OK, bro, and Deep, they shut them down.
Northern Lights, you absolute beast. You're already fighting with Gamerlegion. The pressure was being applied. You turn around and 4AK, you just whack them down.
Nothing they could do. OK, bro had a good backside angle. They were completely annihilated before they were able to do anything. They thought they had the third-party engage of a lifetime, but did not work. And Bjorn now trying to do some damage. Unfortunately, runs out of bullet. Had a pretty easy angle on towards the Deep running away there, but no more bullets in the chamber. Meant that he couldn't really do a whole lot with it.
10 teams remain, 32 players alive. Chaos down in the south at the moment for Desperado, Northern Lights, and Tornado starting to get involved with Gamerlegion, taking the fight. Besiktas is going to be the next ones down, and Tornado, they've seen and heard all of this, and they're hungry to pick up some of these kills. They're going to be working their way down, but the question is, what can Gamerlegion do? Yeah,
Ultros left by himself, and now Gamerlegion, well, there's still 4 guys up, so there's a chance they can do something there. But Tornado Energy moving in their direction, and Desperado's trying to contain as well. It's all going to come down to where that next circle shifts. Does it allow for Hamster and the guys to stay put where they are, or not? Aaliyah, you need to run on forward. These circles are starting to tank quite a bit of damage, and Coldamenta spotting out Mac and just exactly makes it through. And all these guys, we've said it so many times before, but they're playing for that space now as the circle goes north.
Hardship tough north, keeps PG-18, We Need a Home, and Tok, the solo player for Avangar, within the circle. But it's a lot of open area. I can see just the one compound that PG-18 have there close by. Everyone else is just going to be looking for trees and rocks to hide behind.
There's not going to be a whole lot available. Macken is trying to hold the angle here while Bjorn is getting healed back on up. They're still up and alive. They've made it into placement points as well, and they have a few kills with it. So Gamerlegion looking to keep their lead coming into tomorrow's games. But of course, Tornado Energy up and alive. As I say, that only Millman is actually up and alive. Calvin and Fake, though. As you can see here, they've made their way on over. Have an angle. They're just containing right now. Tassera and Coldamenta, they're there too, but they're losing a lot of spots in the circle trying to get these kills.
Spray coming in from Calvin Klein, can't finish it off. Tox found the knock on to Page though, which is interesting. He can't get the finish off though, so he will just go down. Avangar managing to get 8th, which is still at least 1 point. Nades again, this is working out.
Desperados, they want to finish off strong here, and they sure are looking to do so. They got quite a few kills in it already, and a top 5 placement guaranteed so far. PG, though, again, quiet side of the circle for them. They have had the circle for quite a while. Now Hard shifts back out into the fields, and they have got the yellow houses once again. So for them to commit to that one early was a good call.
Yeah, this has worked out massively in their favor with Naylor being the man out on the side. More nades going out. Page trying to stand strong. T-Bone and Vascu looking to push on up. But now there are only 2 players left alive. They've got to try and make this happen. Vascu hitting some huge shots there onto Tozera, but how much more can he do? Cold Dementor might just have to fall back on this.
Ival from a distance needs to do so much damage here. He has a good chance in holding it. And you can see him out there in the open trying to help out T-Bone and Vasco as best as possible. They don't have a whole lot of cover, and you can see every time they peek over the top, teams like Quickmath are in positions to shoot down towards him, so they really have to play it smart. Look at this, as soon as the smoke fades away, shots are being fired down towards him, and I don't think neither T-Bone or Vasco has anything left to work with when it comes to utility.
Yeah, you've given up a lot to take this fight and get involved in it. Desperado will end up going down in 5th. It was a big fight for them, and Ival will pick up that final kill. 4 teams remain now.
Great shot from a distance by Ival once again. He was really being a thorn in the heel for Desperado's push down towards Vasco and T-Bone. Fortunately, though, the split pays off and it works for them. Tuho now trying to get some damage done over towards him. Notes that Ival is down in these smokes somewhere and lands 2 good shots and repeat.
Avoiding the nades for now. No, it's not going to be even possible, is it, for them to come around and save him?
No, he's dead. I mean, technically, no.
Now he definitely is. There we go.
No. Circle up towards PG. Once again, they've got them going their way all game. And Quickmath, well, they've been shooting from a distance because Insolenzo, he's 3 bullets left. I hope you have a weapon that's not an AK or Groza or barrel for your secondary or other weapon, because if not, then you'll be throwing pans real soon.
Throw the pan at the head. Dong.
Doing. These pushes on forward into a good center spot. They want to get the main spot in the circle so they don't have to move and they can just sit on this center dot and wait for that final one to go towards him. Makes perfect sense. And Rita still alive as well. Poloderok did it yesterday's games, I believe. He was a sneaky snake trying to make his way through, and today it's Rita trying to stay alive here.
All about this waiting game now. Still a lot of space from here. Vascu trying to push in, but there's so little cover for him. They're all looking for him, and that's an easy pickup for D's.
Good 4th place, though, everything considered. Zoekt Een Naam getting a lot of kills with the Desperados as well. Despite going out a bit earlier, they do manage to get themselves quite a few kills. And that's the thing, right? Because both Quickmath and PG barely have any kills. So no matter what happens, should be, well, I mean, either both the teams or one of them finishing up on the top.
Yeah, Zen walking away with constant, strong games coming out here.
Yeah, good turnaround for them too. They've had a struggle really finding their groove on Wrangle ever since they started doing better on Miramar. But good to see them be back in the action.
Yannick able to land the headshot knock onto Tuoyua, and Salento wants to come on by and try and save him here. They don't want to be too far out in the open there, but that's exactly what Yannick's done. He's the one pushing forward. Nadeup's trying to work his way around the side, but they've got to be careful of these solo players. This is where they can become undone.
It's really hard to play around these areas. Yannick is alive, trying to flank around the side. He's just going to lay down, hold this one off. But look at the pinning they've done. If you look at the map, if you look at the mini-map in the bottom of your screens, look at the terrain they have secured for their team. And this is exactly why they did it. They knew if we take the bigger portion of the current circle, odds are that we'll have a chance to exclude Quickmath and whoever else is left alive in the next one. Now, Nemrith, you need to land some hero shots or at least provide some very, very good info for your teammates and where these guys are peeking up and over.
Slowly but surely. First shots get rattled off here. Rita, she's holding on. She doesn't want to engage in this just yet. D's trying to play as smart. He's looking for the first pixel he can find. D's going to run over the top, but will he spot him out? He's actually got Encelenzo right on the side of him, and Encelenzo's able to capitalize on it. Brilliant work from him. He bided his time. The rest of the team was stuck together, and now they can try and push on it. Yannick, though, just down below, and this is just a small face-off going on. Brilliant work from Yannick to get the headshot in, but he needs to do more than that. They can't afford to go for this revive, surely, just right in the middle. What is the plan here?
Gotta fall further back down, gotta crawl further back down. They know Yannick is in a position, or is not in the position to peek on over. Nemrith needed to do so much damage, he wasn't able to do that. And now Rita, off of all of this, just proning down, letting these giants fight it through, hopefully able to stay alive.
She can smell that second place as long as no one decides to walk over her.
You say second, I'm sure Rita's thinking first.
Definitely thinking first. Whether that can be something that actually happens is another thing. Is Yannick, he'll find himself getting knocked. The nade goes just over his head.
4 players alive for Quickmath as well. And we keep mentioning them, how they had that 17 kill win, how they've really been able to pull off numbers. And look at this now, 6 kills in Rita. 1 versus 4. Are you going to tank the blue or are you going to try and get some kills here?
Go for the kills, Rita. Go for the kills.
Of course, man. There's nothing there for them. I mean, they're sitting in last place right now, right? Alongside 4AK. She has nothing to do. Every point she can get is points well needed. That's 1. Ooh, not able to get the flush. No, a whole lot more you can do there either.
That was just unlucky though, wasn't it?
Almost had it, but not quite there. Quickmath, they get themselves yet another win, and they need them.
Yep.
I mean, we talked about how last week they finished off with a 17-kill win, and that didn't even throw them into 12th. So now that things are starting to get close again, other teams have helped it by some of the bottom teams having good performances, top teams falling a little bit down. Things are getting more and more close together, and that win was a well-needed one.
So far to go, right, for some of these teams, but all of these little games like this, they count so much in order to just help yourself jump up in any way that's possible. But also, it's the confidence boosting, right? If you're having a bad day, if you're having a bad week, if you're not getting the points you need to, getting a win, no matter how big or small it is, can kind of turn things around in your head.
Oh yeah, indeed. I mean, the fact that they can go off with a strong kill game in last week, now get 1 more to finish off the day here too, that's going to throw them off into a good set of games. I would hope tomorrow on Miramar it's going to get extremely exciting. As I mean, first of all, we're getting closer and closer to the end of things, and also just with teams starting to step up where I wouldn't say we've counted them out, but there are some teams that just didn't seem to be able to really bounce back off of tough games. But now we see we need a home get into the late game. We see Quickmath, of course, turn things around already starting last week, and multiple teams really starting to get in on the positive side of things. Moonwolf getting themselves a good win on a crazy Fairy Pier game earlier as well. Just glad to see it.
And then this time around again, despite sometimes going outside of the placement points, they've always been able to get the kills alongside, which has seen them within the top 8 when we look at the overall standings per match.
Exactly. Both of them and Desperado had a really good kill game in, this time around. And that's, I mean, honestly, for Desperados at least, most of their fights were in the open. They had the whole engagement across the road with Avangar. Then they pushed down, took other fights. They tried to do the whole third-party engagement on Gamerlegion and Northern Lights and Tornado Energy there. Worked out for them, fortunately. But when it came to pushing down, I want to say towards, but more like through Zoekt Een Naam, it became too much for them to do.
This was a good effort from Rita at the end,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was so unlucky on the hill that she couldn't flush the final player out of it. But still, they walk away with 10 points for We Need a Home, with all things considered. That's pretty good. 11 for Desperado and PG18, done in slightly different ways. And obviously, Quickmath are winners with 17 overall. But look, even then, Zen, again, 4 kills, 4 placement points, 8 in there, just every single game getting it done.
We got 4 teams with double digits and 2 teams at 9 and 8 points respectively. A lot of kills being shared between these teams, and that's going to really make the leaderboard look interesting coming into tomorrow. Northern Lights, of course, despite not getting the win, they do manage to get themselves 9 kills. Good performance by them. And then PG, I mean, they were alongside, honestly, Quickmath, sitting on the quiet side of the circle for quite a while. And fortunately, they still managed to rack up some kills and good placements and the other things.
And that's what it's all about, right? When you decide to come alive, you've got to be able to land at those key shots and make up for if you'd gone a little bit slow at the beginning.
Yeah, Tuho was one of those guys doing exactly that. Small angles to shoot, very little space to hit those bullets, but he was dealing damage, almost 500 at it. A lot of damage applied from him in securing the win for him for his team. And look at how close things are all of a sudden. We had huge gaps all over the place, and now the only gap is a 17.1 between Desperados and Quickmath. Everything else is pretty damn close to me. We got from 7th up to 1st place, all above 200.
Yeah, all it would take is Desperado or Besiktas, right, to have one good game, and they're instantly going up towards potentially up to 5th place or so things can quickly turn around. No tag team, considering they're on in 5th at the moment. They've been having good games. We've seen not too bad performances out of them, but they've not been able to solidify themselves with getting like a day of good games recently. So that's what needs to change for them.
They, I don't know. I mean, they've been caught on rotations early on, but in all honesty, today's games, I mean, arguably the second one was a cluster with cluster on top of it. They found themselves caught in shacks. It's like you have to try and position yourself in situations, not that might be the better for the circle, but that's the better for you to play the style that you like to play. So sure, there's a center compound that's potentially be available. But if you're a team that that thrives on playing on the edge, then do you really need to go for that spot or not? That's what you want to kind of put into the whole equation when you sit and pinpoint where do we go this next circle, Mr. In-game leader.
Well, let's see what the teams will be working on tonight and bringing into the games tomorrow. We're done for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. CEST because we're going back to Miramar.
Vittu pili rikki!